Hey, this is Nessyp of Nessyp Entertainment. I have such a treat for you guys. House music. When you hear house music, Tony T over there in the corner at the top, DJ Tony T from Chi-Town, that was my boy. And then Anthony at the bottom of the screen, he's the singer of the group.
Yes.
Yes. Yay, I got that right.
I'm Anthony Quinones, known as Boricua Posse.
See, I told him I wasn't gonna even try to pronounce that, so I was moderate. So I am so glad you said that. So
I've been called a lot of things before, Boston chicken wings, because they couldn't say it. You know?
Yeah, he used to be a comedian too, so you guys, you are in for a treat.
Oh, yeah.
So with DJ Tony T, we were talking earlier before we started it, and he was telling me all these different things that he's involved with. He's a DJ, a producer, a record label owner. He's a house music reporter. He has his own radio station. He's on a DJ team that's all over the world.
Yeah, Tony is definitely internationally known. It's a pleasure working with him.
So how did you guys get together?
In 2023, I was performing at the Puerto Rican Day Parade in Palm Bay, Florida. And I met him there.
Okay.
And then we started talking, and then he asked me, what was I doing with myself? And I explained to him that I had, an array of music that I had produced. And then then we spoke, you're on a label? No, I'm not on a label. And then from there it took off. Then, I sent him, he told me, send me a few songs so I could see more or less, where you're at musically. And I sent him 30 songs.
Yeah, I asked him for a few. He sent me the whole library. Well, not the whole. This man is very talented too. He's
not the whole library, but he said 30.
I sent him 30. Just in case he didn't get 20 of them. You damn sure they get 10 more. You gonna get something.
So, but we've heard of each other, through. He knew about my past, my history, stuff in Chicago and stuff. Then I knew him because we used to play his songs and stuff like that,
Okay.
But basically, that was the first time we kind of
really got together.
Yeah.
So both of you are producers. So
yes.
Do you guys work together as a team to produce others' music, or just yours, or how does that work between you two?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, as far as my stuff, I only work on my music. I don't produce for anyone.
Okay.
I do have a female artist that I am I would like to say mentoring, and I'm guiding. But outside of that, I don't make music for anyone. My energy and everybody else's energy does not match.
Okay.
So if I feel like I'm bringing something to the table, and I know that you can't do it, or if I feel like you can't do it, I don't bother to waste my time to even go that far. You understand? When I have a conversation with somebody in music, you can kind of tell when they're into music. You can kind of tell that they're in it. You can kind of tell that they have a feel for it. And then you run into people that just talk to them, they're just in it.
Okay.
So you could be in it, but if you're just in it, but you're not focused on it, working on it, you're just there. And that's what I've encountered, a lot of people that are just there.
Okay.
And I'm everywhere. I can't just be there. I have to be everywhere. I'm like a cockroach, locally found anywhere.
You told me that once before when we had a conversation about you.
I'm like a cockroach. You find me anywhere. Right now I'm here. Right? Tomorrow I'm in Staten Island. Next week I'm in Orlando. Then I'm in Miami. Then when I come back, I'm in the Bronx. Then I'm in Virginia. Like a cockroach everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Okay.
or better yet, like a Waffle House, anywhere, everywhere.
Yeah, they are pretty much.
Yeah.
So, Tony, what inspired you to do a career in house music? I mean, what attracted you to house music?
Oh no, well, I'm from Chicago, so when house kind of like first started in Chicago, I was there. I was one of the DJing in the hottest clubs in Chicago at the time.
Right.
And when house kind of started, all the guys that are big now were just starting then, and they used to go to me to make sure that kind of like, please play my song.
Okay.
Now I'm telling them, please, could I play your song? No, it's just a figure of speech. But
Okay.
and I used to hang around a lot with Frankie Knuckles at the time in Chicago.
Oh
And
my goodness. I
Yeah.
loved his music. That was the party music.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he was, he's really the godfather of house in Chicago.
Yeah.
And he had that Philly style, the soulful style, and I adapted to it. I was spinning in the hottest clubs, but he had more of a. It was at his clubs and the clubs I spent at were totally different because everything was kind of like in his place. Everything was like spiritual. It was soulful. It was, it was just everybody went there to dance. They didn't go there to sit down and lounge and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, they didn't do that.
In the clubs that I spent at, you sit down, you have a drink. Yeah, there were nice clubs, but it wasn't underground like his,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because his plan was if you wanted to go get a good exercise program out, that's where you would go for him. I mean, once you walked in on the floor, you weren't going to get off that floor until the lights came on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it was easy for me to go over there because he opened at 12 at night.
Okay.
And his club used to get good after like 4 or 5 o'clock. That's when we would be closing.
Okay. I get it.
So everybody goes over there to where he's at. It's different. It was different. It was different.
Different isn't I don't even know if I would use the word different. It was like a high. You look forward to every weekend going to party, and you just enjoyed yourself. It wasn't like you were worried about anything. You just come in. They would tell the ladies, don't leave your purse, don't even bring a purse because you was gonna never get off the floor. Just have a good time. And that made a really, really big difference. So,
But moving a little forward, I was kind of the first DJ to introduce house music to Mexico, the country of Mexico.
okay.
And I toured the whole country of Mexico playing house music, But I say to myself, I don't know why I didn't start production back then, because I'm musically inclined. I'm a musician. On top of not just being a DJ, I play, and I know the music theory. So when I jumped into production, it was a little easier for me because I know music.
Okay.
And but I gotta mention this. Every artist I work with, because I produce, is kind of like they don't know the theory. So I always gotta guide them. And which is part of the job, With Mr. Boricua Posse, it was a totally different thing because his stuff was made, If I tweaked it here and there, was not too much.
Okay.
His stuff was already made, so we kind of like, even though I just produced the record for him. We made the music. Well, he made the music, but I redid it.
Okay.
And the song is called "Mad About You."
Okay.
This is
It was
beautiful. House is very housey. And
it's very housey.
yeah, very housey. Yeah. And so in that one, we both kind of collaborated with each other. I released the album for him, and on his album, the material's already made. So I just used. He kind of I just released what he produced on my.
Okay.
But signed to the label, I'll never sign nobody to the label because I'd rather do song per song.
Okay.
So I don't like to tie nobody up. You know, a lot of record labels, they're like, oh, you got to make 2, 3 albums for me, or you can't
Right.
sing.
Right.
I don't believe in that. If you don't want to be with me, don't be with me. I give you the rate. The only artist that's 100% with me is Boricua Posse in my label. He's the only one signed to my label.
Okay.
Yeah, the number one and only artist. I deal with other artists, but I do like record deals. One song, that's it.
That's
You know,
it.
I would like with Boricua Posse.
Wow. So, Anthony, tell me a little bit about your musical background.
I don't think you have enough time, but I will cut it down a bit.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll cut it down a bit because once I start, it'll all start to sound like Charlie Brown's. Wah, 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 wah. We don't want to do that.
Okay.
I basically started in the '80s as a dancer,
Okay.
and I danced for a lot of the freestyle legends that are still right now currently at this time doing shows. And then at one point I decided that I needed to transition into something more because I liked being on stage,
Mhm.
but then I fell in love with being on stage. And when you're a dancer, you're only on stage for the allotted time that you're there with that artist.
Okay.
So I didn't want to be allotted. I wanted to be front and center. I wanted to be the apple of the eye. So you know what I said? For me to do that, I'm gonna have to break out of the dancing shoes and grab a
Okay.
microphone, which for me is not hard. And '95 did a beautiful remix of a house track, a rendition, and I've been nonstop performing since '97.
Wow.
And my track record is very long. My community work is even longer. I do a lot of charity work. I do a lot of community work,
Okay.
and I've been A&R for a label. I've done artist and development for another label. I've been around for a while. I worked at the VIP record pool in New York City for Al Pizarro for about 11 years, and I learned the inside of the business.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I stepped on stage, I already had some know-how. So then I said, from here, I could just go up. I can't fall on my face right now.
Okay.
So, and it's been amazing, and it's been, outside of the success of the Yo Fellas remix,
Mm-hmm.
rest in peace to Danny Whip, our man Vargas. Outside of the success of that, I have kept myself relevant as an artist with other music as well,
Okay.
and with production, because the music for the Yo Fellas remix was my production.
Oh,
So everything that I've done musically has been from these hands. This way, when you only have two hands in front of you,
mm-hmm.
you don't have to worry about another hand coming in from behind you, So you know what they say, too many hands in a pot mess up the soup.
Okay.
So I kept it like that. So people have asked me, Boricua Posse, but it's only you, which I'm pretty sure you were going to ask me at some point. Well, it's not just only me. It's me and about, I would like to say 40 other people.
Okay.
The other 39 individuals, two are in music, but they're in hip hop. So we don't even really talk too much because that's a whole different energy of performance and
Okay.
people and everything. So, and then all the other ones are in different businesses. But we started our thing a very long time ago, and originally we were going with Boricuas Don't Play, and then we would go to certain clubs in the Bronx, and we would scream BDP, BDP, BDP. And the problem with that was, at that time, you had KRS-One with Boogie Down Productions, which was BDP. So then somebody from their people came to us and said, hey, you guys can't do that, blah, 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 blah. So I said, you know what? We're a posse of very intelligent Boricuas. And that was it from that point. And some of the other guys made a left at the light. You know, you already know they did other things that they weren't supposed. A lot of them actually made a left at the light. But I'm the only one that stood front and center, professional, doing what I
Okay.
have. And it's been an honor for me to have to be. Listen, I'm 56-year-old dude with a heart condition and epilepsy. To be able to be on stage, to be able to sing a song like Mad About You or any of the other songs, to be on stage. And if you ask, my energy is very high. It's a blessing.
Wow. Well, we're going to take a break right now, and we're coming back with these guys. So we'll be right back.